Why today? Why now? What secret was Jungkook hiding that made him suddenly appear on Weverse Live without any warning? Was it pure coincidence, or a carefully planted clue for ARMY to decipher? No countdown, no official schedule, no company hints, just silence, until suddenly, Weverse lit up with his name. Notifications spread like wildfire, phones buzzed, fans screamed. The quiet Sunday, the ordinary scrolling, turned into chaos, a chaos filled with anticipation, tears, laughter, and endless theories. The second Jungkook's face appeared on the screen, questions flooded in. Was he okay? Why did he look both tired and glowing at once? What story was he carrying in his eyes? He didn't start with an introduction, nor did he follow a script. His first words were simple, almost casual, yet they carried the weight of 1,000 emotions. His voice cracked, soft yet magnetic, as if he was holding back something deeper than the casual greetings ARMY is used to. There was no flashy outfit, no professional lighting, no carefully curated backdrop, just him raw, unedited, sitting in what looked like his private space, where walls and silence had been his only company, before he decided to break through and let millions in. And ARMY caught it. They always do. The way his fingers tapped nervously on the desk, the way his gaze shifted as though he was searching for the right words, the way his smile appeared too, quickly after moments of silence. It wasn't just a live. It was a confession disguised as routine. The comments poured in at lightning speed. Are you okay? We miss you. Is there something you want to tell us? But Jungkook didn't answer directly. Instead, he sang, out of nowhere, with no background music. His voice filled the digital space like a secret diary being read aloud. The song wasn't planned. It wasn't polished. It was his. His raw vocals echoed like the pages of his soul were being torn open, one verse at a time. Was this his way of answering ARMY without words? The silence between his sentences was louder than the music. Every pause, every hesitation, felt like a coded message. Fans began dissecting every gesture. When he touched his hair, did it mean stress? When he leaned forward, was he hiding tears? When he chuckled suddenly, was it to mask something heavier? The live was no longer just a live, it became a puzzle, a riddle wrapped in emotions, waiting for ARMY to unlock. And then came the shock, a slip of words, an unguarded expression, a name nearly mentioned but cut short. The chat exploded. Did Jungkook almost reveal something? Was it about music? Was it about his personal life? Or was it about the bond he's always hinted at? The unseen thread tying him to someone special? The way he abruptly changed the topic only fueled more questions. Why avoid it? Why let the word escape his lips in the first place? Time seemed suspended. Minutes felt like hours. ARMY's hearts pounded as they watched, terrified the live would suddenly end. Because that's the thing about Jungkook. He appears without warning and disappears just as fast, leaving fans gasping, begging for more. Was this the start of something bigger? Or just another fleeting gift he left behind before vanishing into his world again? And then, as quickly as it began, it was over. Jungkook waved, his smile fragile, his eyes lingering on the screen as though he didn't want to leave but had to. The screen went black, but the storm he unleashed raged on in every fan's heart. What was he trying to tell us? Why today? Why now? Theories are already multiplying. Some say it's linked to an upcoming project, a hidden collaboration he can't officially announce yet. Others believe it's more personal, a way to soothe ARMY after the whirlwind of rumors and uncertainty. Some whisper it's tied to a secret anniversary, a date only he remembers. And a few insist it's a silent promise, a message coded in every look, every pause, every note of the song he sang. One thing is clear, this wasn't just another live. It was a chapter in Jungkook's unspoken diary, shared only with those who cared enough to stay and listen. It was a fleeting window into his world, a reminder that behind the superstar lies a young man who still seeks comfort in the company of those who love him unconditionally. So we're left with questions that may never be answered directly, but that ARMY will hold on to until the next time he surprises us. Because with Jungkook, nothing is ever just simple. Nothing is ever just casual. Every live, every smile, every silence is a story waiting to be uncovered. And today's story, it will echo for days, maybe weeks, maybe forever. The live may have ended, but the echoes it left behind are still vibrating through ARMY's hearts and timelines. Even hours later, hashtags about Jungkook trended worldwide. Not because he sang a polished performance, not because he announced a new project, but simply because he showed up. The power of his presence, raw and unplanned, was enough to make the world stop. But what does that really mean? Why would Jungkook risk appearing in such a vulnerable state? Unprepared, almost fragile, at a time when silence would have been easier. Could it be that silence itself had become too heavy for him to bear? Some fans replayed the live frame by frame, dissecting every detail. The dim light of his room, the faint shadow on the wall, the sound of his breathing when he thought no one was listening. Even the shirt he wore became a point of debate. Was it a random choice, or was he wearing something with a hidden message? After all, Jungkook has often left subtle clues for ARMY, small details only noticed by those who look closely. Could the color of his outfit, the way he tied his hair, or the mug he held in his hands be part of a bigger story waiting to be unraveled? The emotional weight of the moment only deepened when Jungkook suddenly went quiet mid-sentence. His lips parted as if he wanted to say something important, but instead he stopped, staring at the screen as though trying to hold back words too dangerous to let out. In that pause, millions of fans held their breath. What was he going to say? Who was he thinking of? Why did he hesitate? And most importantly, what truth was left unsaid? Then came the laughter. That soft, almost shy chuckle that has always been Jungkook's way of breaking tension. But this time it felt different. ARMY noticed it wasn't carefree. It was the kind of laugh people make when they want to shift focus, to hide, to escape vulnerability. The comments exploded with comfort. It's okay. You don't have to tell us everything. We are here. Don't force yourself. And yet, the silence that followed lingered like a ghost, a reminder that Jungkook's heart may have been screaming words he wasn't ready to share. Theories spiraled out of control. Some connected this live to his past, Weverse appearances where he hinted about loneliness and the weight of expectations. Others said it was tied to his artistic process, maybe he's working on lyrics, and the emotions slipped through before the music could mask them. A few more daring voices suggested it was personal, tied to relationships he has always kept hidden from the spotlight. Could it be that his unfinished sentence, that almost slip of the tongue, was the closest ARMY has ever been to hearing him acknowledge something forbidden? But maybe the most powerful clue wasn't in what he said, but in what he sang. Those raw, unaccompanied notes were like diary pages, torn out and scattered for the world to hear. His voice cracked not because of lack of control, but because of truth, a truth too heavy to contain. Was it his way of speaking to ARMY without breaking the rules that bind him? Was he telling us, in melody, what he couldn't in words? Even the ending of the live was strange. Usually, Jungkook waves confidently, sometimes even playfully, before ending a stream. But today his wave was slow, hesitant, as if his hand didn't want to let go of the screen. His eyes lingered far too long, and just before the screen went black, fans swore they saw his expression falter, a flicker of sadness, or maybe relief, or maybe both. Was this truly just a spontaneous live, or was it a goodbye to something we don't yet understand? And now, ARMY is left in suspense. Social media is a battlefield of theories, clips, and translations of every second of the live. Every pause is treated like a riddle, every smile like a puzzle, every silence like a confession waiting to be decoded. The mystery grows deeper. Will Jungkook come back soon to explain? Or was this fleeting moment his only way of letting us glimpse behind the curtain, before pulling it shut again?